Hey everyone, it's Dustin with TechMD. I'm here at another home and I want to show you my new method of doing glass repair. Now if you're at home and you're watching this video and you're like, there's no way, we're going to be offering really awesome cheap mail-in options. It's going to be like 7-day turnaround, hopefully soon. So look out for that on our website. But if you are a technician or you want to attempt to do this, I will show you a way where you can get a good core credit for this. I can't tell you the amounts that you can, but you can always contact us in the link down below for how much you can get for good screen. So this is how you can do glass repair by yourself at home with no official technicians, okay? If you're handy enough, of course. You're gonna need several parts. First of all, you need a brand new LCD screen. These cost about $140-ish, but they're gonna go down over time. If you're watching this video a year later, you're gonna need a new frame and preferably something with a button or whatnot. And then you're gonna need your charge port here. Make sure you get the right charge port for your phone. So V or P on the end of the G930V, that would be Verizon or Sprint. Those will both work for both. Or the T or A at the end of that number for AT&T or T-Mobile, okay? Then you're gonna need a home button. And what we're gonna do is assemble this all together with the new screen, okay? And then you're gonna need an adhesive, which is right here. This is a waterproof adhesive. They're about $5 individually, or if you buy them in packs, you can get them about $1 or $2 each, okay? So we're gonna assemble that right now, and then we're gonna disassemble the Galaxy 7, and I'm gonna show you how that all goes together, and that way you guys can send off those frames to get them refurbished through TechMD. And I'll be showing you guys the factory here. Hopefully in the next few months, I'm gonna be flying out to New York and doing that. But this is how you can make money on the Galaxy 7 Edge cracked glass. Further ado, here we go. Okay, so first things first is we're going to turn off the actual phone. And I apologize for this hanging cord, but this is my microphone cord. I'm working on maybe a wireless mic solution eventually in the future. So we're gonna need the Iflex tool, iseasmo tool, or you can get that in the Pro Tool kit here. Some double-sided adhesive, scissors, tweezers, Phillips screwdriver, different size tweezers if you like. I like both, and plastic tools as well. Your plastic tools can utilize where the tweezers don't come in, but you can see the options here why we're going. So first we're going to actually put this together here, the frame. And this is the same concept for the Galaxy 7 Edge. Eventually we'll make a video for that. I kind of did in another one recently. I haven't posted it yet. So just peeling away some of the sticky adhesive. And the first thing we're gonna do is put our charge port in. The worst thing you could do is buy aftermarket parts. So always make sure you buy OEM, because if any of these parts are bad, you're kind of stuck with them, because they're sealed in the phone. It's very hard to remove it. But you can still remove them. It's just difficult, very difficult. So don't buy cheesy parts. Buy good stuff. It'll just be part of the game that you'll come across one bad one from time to time. And if that happens, you just have to take them in strides. You have to be careful removing that display if you put it in. You can test all your parts if you want beforehand, but it's quite challenging, and I'm not going to spend the time testing these parts. I'll spend the time making sure everything works after the fact I install everything. Just for the sake of video speed here, we're not going to do that testing. Okay, so I'm just peeling back the adhesive here so it can stick on the actual frame. All right, okay, and so we got to get our home button here. Hopefully, I got the right home button, and I didn't get the 7 Edge home button. I got some 7 Edge and 7 buttons. I think this is the right one. It looks like the right one. So we're going to weave that through there. It looks like everything lines up perfectly, like we need to. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to put our adhesive down. Oops, and watch out for wanting to stick to other stuff here. Just line it up along the edges and stick it down. It's pretty straightforward. Would not recommend not using one of these. These are like literally lifesavers. Plus it really helps with the waterproof seal. I need to get these for the back ends, but I have trouble finding them and staying consistent with them. Okay, so now that we got the front here, now we're going to pull out our display. And once again, this is one of those things that you would really want to test, and always buy Apple or Samsung original. Do not buy, oh, this one already has adhesive on there, I forgot. I am probably going to go find one that doesn't have adhesive. Give me 1 second. Okay, it looks like my new part supplier switched over to adding adhesive on the screen, so that's nice. But if you buy a part without the adhesive, that's what you'll need to buy. So unfortunately, I have to lose $1 worth of adhesive here because I already have some on. So we're just going to move this bottom piece off. And we're going to remove the back sticker here. And we're going to bend this cable down and around. Just make sure all of our cables are laying flat down. Your whole button sitting in. We're going to guide this cable in and through the ear speaker hole. Right there. And so I'm angling it like this. And then I'm going to drop it down. And pull the cable through as you're dropping it down. And I'm going to lift up the plastic here. Come on. And then we're going to help the home button line up before sticking it all the way down. Or forcing it down and breaking it, you know. Okay, so now it's sitting all in there perfectly in the frame. And I would highly suggest, if you have customers and your customers' frames are dented in badly, just charge them for the cost of the frame. So, you know, I can look at here, and we got a ding here, but it's not bad enough where I need to charge them for a new frame. But you can do that if you want. I already add enough money in my profit where if I need to replace the frame, it's not a big deal. Okay, so this is good to go and ready to assemble everything from the broken device. So we're going to go ahead and hit this. I have this on all the way on high on my $20 heat gun. That's all you need. And back and forth we go. You're going to get it really nice and hot to the touch, but not too hot. But it needs to pretty much burn your fingers hot, because you don't want to break that glass. So you can also time me on how long I'm doing. I'm using a Wagner heat gun at 1300 degrees, I do believe it is. Just nice round circles around the edge. Okay, so it's nice and hot. We're going to take your bubble wrap that you just took off from your screen, pull down and around here. Down and cut. So that is very rare. I have never actually seen that happen. So what just happened is that the actual paint just separated from the foam. As you can see, that was an explosion of paint. The screen itself did not crack, but the actual paint did. So in this rare circumstances, we're going to go ahead and replace the back glass, unless the lady wants a clear back glass. She's shaking her head no, she don't want the clear one. She's not jerry-rig everything. This guy on another channel, he took off all the paint and made his phones clear. It was because he wants to see the internals. Anyways, so we're going to remove the adhesive here. So usually when paint happens to remove, you're just, that's fine, but not that massive. That's not very common. Okay, so we're gonna just separate that piece out of there and then put that aside. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and remove the screws. Okay, so we're gonna twist this up. Just like that with the iseasmo tool. So that one is up. Okay, this one's ready to come up, but what we're gonna do is get our tool right here, not too deep, and twist that one up. And this will come right off, okay? Be careful of not cutting any of these cables. That's why I used it in those specific spots. So you use your fingernail like that. You can use a flat tweezer like this to unplug this cable. You can use a plastic tool, but plastic tool is probably safest for amateurs. Professionals can definitely use other tools, just be really careful if you are. You can also use a plastic tool there, but what I like to do is use my tweezer here. It just gets under them easier and there's no chance of breaking. Right under and then pop up. Move those off to the side. And then we're going to take this tool right here and twist. You can also use a plastic tool for that one as well. And then we are going to pop out the SIM card here. The SIM card popper. Pull out the SIM card. Pull out the motherboard. Oh, you know what? We forgot the battery. The battery is probably the first one you should do. Okay, and set the board aside. Now we're going to remove the actual battery safely. So you can get a battery remover tool, but it's not the easiest. I actually just like to blast the front screen with heat, but don't go too hot and too long because you'll burn the screen. But what's going to happen is this heat is going to absorb through the screen to the metal and then actually warm up the adhesive on the other side of that battery without damaging the battery, causing it to be easily lifted out of the frame without too much effort. Okay, you can actually see it lightening there, so that's where you're starting to get just the right temperature. So you take your sharp tool here and just twist up like this motion. This one's really stuck on. There we go. Pause video. Okay, we're going to warm it up a little bit more. Just hot to the touch, but don't go too hot because you'll burn that screen. Much rather have to replace a battery than the screen. It's easy. Whew, it's hot. Now with the 7 edge, you got to be really careful with the battery because too much pressure here can actually pixelate the screen and then damaging your screen, causing it to be no good. Okay, so the battery is removed and we can actually go ahead and just install it onto the new frame here. And we're going to start transferring all the pieces over here. Okay, so we're going to need to take our tweezers here and get underneath this piece here. And just move that off to the right. Oh, you know what? That one actually doesn't need to be moved. We just need to get this out of here first. Pull this up a little bit, and we're going to get underneath here. So we're going to have to get in between this speaker, and you have to be really careful. So there's a little hole right here. These love to separate on you. And you can actually lift up. Ugh. Careful with this because this loves to separate on its own. So this one came with a little metal bracket right there. And go ahead and brush all the dirt off her ear speaker here so she can actually hear. And set it down back into that piece there. Now we're going to take the vibrator and we're going to pop that in and get it under there, just using those nice tweezers. Now we're going to use our flat tweezers now that we created an opening. Just shuffle right under there. Boom. Okay, so now we're going to continue transferring small components here. We've transferred the proximity sensor, ambient sensors, and ear speakers now. And we want to, looks like we need to transfer this little piece here. Okay. We're going to take out some of these screws here so we can screw in the new charge port. Go ahead and pop out this ear speaker, or not ear speaker, but headphone jack. And help it get out here by leveraging it out, maybe, possibly, if it wants to come out. There we go. So we're going to set that aside because we're going to actually put this in first. Just get under there and pop it up. And this one as well. Let's put this one in first. Okay, so a little technique that I use to put this in. So we're going to use our tweezers and hover this right over the area that we need to be, and then just push in with our tweezers. There we go. Now it clicked in. Okay, so now we're going to move and thread this cable up and all the way down. Next, we're going to take the white cable here, and we're going to clip it in here. And same technique, we're going to clip that with those tweezers and then weave it through this. I think I got the cable backwards, but it's fine. It does not hurt if you get the cable backwards. And we just weave it all the way up and down. And then we're going to bend this around both of these cables so the board can sit in there. This piece here needs to be transferred. Okay, so now we're going to put the headphone jack in and clip this in. And then we're going to do the 3 screws here. It's very important to make sure that all your cables are bent out out of your motherboard's way. So we're going to bend them all out of the way. Take our board, and I like to clip this and eye it up with my eye. And then push it in like little Lego. And all these are like little Lego connections here. I stole that from Zach. You know who you are. And we're going to clip these in. That's your proximity sensor and ambient sensor, and their ear speaker here, your power button. Okay, your LCD connector, which that is way off. So the cable is actually a little too high, so we're gonna have to bend down and in and around. This can happen. You just have to finesse it to get it in. There we go, I finessed it just right. Power button. Now sometimes the board won't sit down all the way, and sometimes it's this piece in the way, and I totally missed this piece, and so this piece actually has to come out, and I have to put it in the new phone. I just used my tweezers to poke it through, but it's completely missing on the new board. So I'm gonna have to take the board out real quick and install that real quick. Okay, so we're going to take the little plug here and plug it back in the hole. There we go. Now it's back in. It's probably a little too high, so we push it down a little bit. But sometimes that plug can get in your way, especially if you're just transferring a new screen. Okay, we're going to plug all these cables back in. So what I'm doing here is just making sure the motherboard's sitting in the frame and making sure the buttons click here. And then I also forgot something else again. Oh boy, this is a forgetful day. See, this is why you want to make sure all your cables are out of your way. And if they're not, then you have to adjust them and fix them. So I forgot the home button cable. And so this can happen where you have to take the board apart several times just to fix your issues. All I'm doing is pushing the cable back in there. It's kind of tricky, but you can definitely break stuff if you're not careful doing that. So it's always better to clip it in like I showed you. Anyways, home button clipped in here. We're going to get this in, zoom in, and we're going to clip it in with our tweezers. Okay, this cable here has to weave in and under the board. It doesn't have to, but it's supposed to. All right, cable's under the board, and we are going to connect that with our tweezers. Just line it up and connect it. Should be fairly easy once you get the technique down. Okay, now we're going to put this piece on here, and we're going to put all our screws on. So while I'm putting on some screws, I'm going to explain to you guys, you send this whole piece to me, I'll give you core credit, or we can send it off to get it refurbished if you have a bunch of them. And there's some other options too, but you can always just send these to me. Okay, if the frame is damaged or the home button is damaged, I will be charging you per, you know, like if it's major, then you'll be charged for the damage of the frame. So make sure you pass along that to the customer. Expect that. If you want to get them refurbished, I can just leave them as is and do that. Now, you got those 4 screws in here. We're gonna go under this, and it'll clip all in, just like so. Make sure all that's clipped in. Now sometimes if the battery's bulging here, it's actually going to force this not to sit flush when you put the new piece of glass on. You can always, like I said, buy the water seal for the back glass. I use double-sided tape. That's the point of the scissors here, and a double-sided tape. It'd almost be cheaper just for you to order a new back glass and break the back glass off, and if you're an amateur. You know, they're not that much. But if you want to keep your original stuff, then be careful with it and then use that kind, or buy the adhesive separately. Okay, and then a couple more screws here. I found my other screw. It was hiding. Okay, so we got all that. Now we're going to need to put a new back piece on, since this one kind of went clear. Okay, so this has already the new water seal on right here. And so I just pull this up, just like so, and let it fall down the adhesive. If you're looking for parts, parts should be in the links below eventually here. Make sure you don't put your fingerprint in the middle of that. And then we're going to seal this all together. Okay, it's sealed. Go ahead and kick it on, turn it on. I'm going to leave the plastic on so I can easily put a screen protector on, because once you peel this off, it comes off nice and clean. Throw your SIM card in there. If you guys have any questions about this, let me know. But once again, you can send in the whole phone to get refurbished at a pretty fast turnaround time, or you can get just this refurbished, and then it'll make really quick repairs for you. You only have to switch some cables around. You don't have to do that full assembly thing, but initially you need to buy the frame and buttons in order to get going. But yeah, looks like we got a functioning phone here. We're going to swipe to unlock, and so it looks like it's functioning completely here. All the buttons working, everything. All right, well, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. More videos of detailed ways of me making, for you guys to make money is coming up in the future for all you shop owners. And hopefully you guys were successful if you're an individual person working. But the theory is, you buy the $140 screen, you buy the $10, $15 housing, and then you buy the button. You're in it to like $160, $170, and then I give you a major credit for your main screen here. So that's the goal. I don't know what the credit is. I will not say that over the camera, but you can always contact us in the information linked down below, and let me know if you want to do this process, so you can actually start turning a profit on the Galaxy 7 and 7 Edges. So it's the same process as 7 Edges, but I will be making a video. Same process for the Galaxy 8s. We can do that as well. Really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much.